Hi, everyone. All right, we're going to talk today about negotiating salaries. So we'll also talk about negotiating business deals, but we're going to start with the salary piece. As a backdrop to our conversation, I own an executive recruiting firm that I started 20 years ago, and I have been negotiating salaries for people for 2 decades now. And the main bit of advice I'll give to you and to everyone is the person who says the numbers first loses. So remember that advice. Never put out a number first. Let the other person do that. And then you'll have something to work off of. Okay. There's several reasons for that. If on a salary, to make this easy, we're just going to stick with an easy salary. Let's say it's $100,000 a year. All right. If you put out the number as an example, 80, and the company was thinking 100, but you said 80, all of a sudden they're thinking, wow, we only have to pay them 80 when you could have gotten 100. Likewise, if you put out the number 80 and they were thinking 60,000 and you've told them 80, they're going to be scared off and say he or she is too expensive. Okay. So this is why you never put out the number first. You let the person you're negotiating with put the number out first. Okay. Now, there are some basic pieces to negotiating. All right. First and foremost, you have to be very familiar with what you're going to be negotiating and why. So if it's a salary you're going to negotiate and it's for a management position, let's say in, I don't know, manufacturing, heavy manufacturing, then we need to know how much a heavy manufacturing, I don't know, a manager position pays. What is a normal pay for that? And then we can start basing our mind off of what that pay is and should be. Now, not everything is on the computer or internet is right. So don't just take that for granted. If it says that it only pays a certain amount, don't necessarily believe it. Do your research, learn and know and become familiar with industry salary trends before you ever negotiate. All right. You also have to be ready to build your case as to why you should be paid a certain amount of money. Okay. So that can be based off of years of experience. It can be based off of education. It can be based off of a certain skill set that is very rare or unique. All right. Another piece to negotiating is you have to factor in other perks and benefits. So, for instance, if a company does not offer health insurance for family, then your salary needs to be higher because you're going to have to get your own health insurance. Yeah, okay, understand that. Also, if there are no bonuses, then your base salary expectation must be higher because there's no bonuses, or if there's no commissions, or if there are bonuses, then perhaps we can factor that base salary at a different level. Okay, so factor in any perks or benefits. If the company gives you a car, then perhaps your base salary can be lower. If it doesn't give you a car, but you have to travel a lot, you're going to have to spend money on gas and mileage and wear on your car, then your base salary better be higher. Okay. You also need to practice very much your conversation before you have it with the person you're going to negotiate with. Okay. Don't go into this cold turkey without preparation. Okay. Practice what you're going to say. Remember the old adage, practice makes perfect. Practice, practice, practice before you go in. Okay. Also know, speak less, listen more. A person will generally zone out after about 30 seconds, maybe top end a minute. So what you're saying, you need to say in a concise, quantitative manner. And then you can end your conversation with a question saying something like, does that help you with your question about where I need to be financially or on a base salary range, right? And then it goes back to them and they come back to you with questions and it's just conversational back and forth. You end everything you say with a question and it's 30 seconds to a minute long. Also, if you're going to get an offer on a base salary, make sure it's in writing. Never believe anything verbally only. It's got to be in writing that they sign against and you sign against. Nothing is legally binding unless it's in writing and it's signed against. Okay, please remember that. If a person tells you they're going to pay you $100,000 and they only do it verbally, they don't do it in writing, it means nothing. And if they don't pay you $100,000, you can't fight it legally, okay, because it's not in writing, it's not signed. All right. So These are the basics of negotiating salary. And again, we're compressing this into a very short amount of time, but those are some basic things that will help you. Negotiating a business deal is very similar. All right. It isn't going to be based on a salary for you, but on closing a deal. So use the same bits of advice I gave you for closing a deal, but just remember you're negotiating on something a little bit different. So on a business, as an example, you may be purchasing a business or you may be looking to sell a business. The same exact encouragement is with that as it is with the salary. So if you're going to purchase a business, become familiar with the business you want to buy. Build your case on why you're the one that they should sell to. Make sure you are factoring in any perks that you're getting from the business or any losses that you're going to be getting for the business. So, for instance, if they have a lot of business debt, then your purchase price should be less. Okay. And you'll be negotiating these things. You'll become familiar with their company and how much a company is worth. Okay. Practice your delivery, practice why it is a business you should have. Same thing on selling. If you're going to sell your business, make sure you're familiar with who you're going to be selling to, how they treat other people, what they've purchased in the past, how much they've purchased for. Factor in what is the perks or benefits they might give to you for that sale. All right. So I know we've been talking for a number of minutes. It's a little bit longer than 5 minutes, isn't it? Please take these bits of advice and know that you will do very well if you take them seriously. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. All righty. Thank you so much.